What's going on, YouTube? Glad you guys were able to make it once again for
Bro Code.
another Bro Code. Bro, man, you got this story, bro.
Yeah.
Now, you just seen the clip, so it is fresh. I seen it. I was like, man, man, we gotta do a story on this. But you know, enough with it. I'm gonna just go ahead and let this clip roll. We're gonna get right back to you.
67,000 fans packed the Alamo Dome for the NCAA Final Four. It's electric. But for Mary Garcia Hopf, the biggest shock comes before tip-off.
I was excited, I was pumped, there was people everywhere.
As her alma mater, the University of Houston, warms up, Mary makes a quick stop at the restroom.
We like to see the players being introduced, we like to see everything. And I thought, oh my God, we gotta go take our seats. And I dried my hands and walk out. I see my husband standing where he said he was going to be standing. I smiled at him. We held hands. We walked all the way around the stadium, all the way down towards our seats.
A 20-minute walk through a sea of fans. But when Mary finally sits down, her heart sinks.
I was in shock. I was in disbelief. I wanted to cry. I looked at my ring and there was nothing there. And I screamed. I literally screamed.
Her 3.5 carat diamond ring gone, worth $45,000. But to her, priceless. The center ring belonged to her husband's grandmother.
My thought process was, I was in a hurry. I heard the band. I wanted to go take our seats. I was excited. And the only thing I could think of was the ring was thrown away when I dried my hands.
She races back to the restroom. A cleaning crew is inside.
And I said, hey, look, I've lost my wedding ring. Please help me, please. And she said, where did you lose it? I said, in this bathroom. She said, ma'am, how long ago? And I said, 15, 20 minutes. And she said, ma'am, we're cleaning out the trash every 15 or 20 minutes.
They check the stalls. They empty the trash everywhere. No ring.
I went back to my husband. I said, it's gone. It's just gone. And he said, it's insured. Don't worry.
What happens next is a twist no one saw coming. It's go time. Inside the Alamo Dome, we tracked down Yanaber Gonzalez, a cleaner contracted for big events.
Hello there, Miss? Senora Gonzalez? Sí? You look very surprised.
¿Estás bien sorprendida?
Sí. Do you have any idea why I'm here?
¿Tienes cualquier idea por qué estamos aquí o no? No tienes idea.
No.
Phones and wallets are usually what gets turned in, but she found something else.
Yo estaba haciendo mi labor.
She says that she was cleaning, doing her job, her regular duties during the Final Four, and she's cleaning the restroom, and then she spotted it on the floor. So as soon as she saw it, she called her supervisor, let him know what she saw, and she turned it into him.
Only a year on the job, and this is a 1 in a million moment. She retraces the steps with me.
Estaba revisando.
I'm telling you, God had the right people at the right place at the right time for this ring not to be in a landfill.
The next day, Mary calls Alamo Dome security, a final shot at hope. They tell her the ring's been found.
It's short of a miracle. I mean, it really is. For the goodness of the person to turn in that ring, the kindness that she must exude is just beyond my comprehension. It's just, I just can't believe that she was so kind to turn it in.
I have a program on Fox SA. It's called Cash for Kindness.
I share the real reason why we're here.
Our sponsors, Aaron Plumbing Today, couldn't believe what you did, and they want to make sure that you're rewarded today. 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, $1,000 for you.
Son $1,000 por usted. ¿Y cómo te sientes?
How do you feel? You're shaking like a leaf.
¿Cómo te sientes? She says she's surprised and she really wasn't expecting this. This isn't what she didn't do that. She didn't get the ring back for this reason, but she's very thankful and she says thank you a lot.
Mary sends a heartfelt message to her hero.
Te doy mis gracias de mi corazón. And I told her I appreciate
Yanaber breaks down in tears.
Le que yo también le
She says she has a joy, and she's just happy that she was able to give it back to her.
Bro, man, dang. Now you know.
That wasn't nothing but God right there. Let me just say that wasn't nothing but God, brother.
Man,
you know what I'm saying, and it just show you that there are good God-fearing people out there.
Yeah,
of any and all races, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew that the ring had to be worth something, you know, but you know, she just turned it in, and you know, and just hope that the person who, you know, the ring belonged to would get it back, in which they did. The ring found its home or whatnot, and the woman was just so humble, Mo. You know what I mean? She was just so humble. She was just like, I found it. I want to get it back to him.
Wasn't expected nothing,
man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, and that, most people would have been like, Mo, is there a reward? Even if they did something right, they'd be like, well, you got a reward for me or something? You know what I'm saying? Or they'd have kept the ring and went on ahead and pawned that joker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing when they went on ahead and they was interviewing her.
Right.
I was like, man, is they gonna give her a reward or something
right,
like that? Because I'm like, what, you know, okay, you say you did a good deed, that's wonderful.
Right.
But I do believe that if you're gonna put somebody on TV, you know what I'm saying, seek them out, put them on TV and be like, well, hey, you know, thanks for doing that, and then just leave. I think that's a little bogus. You know what I'm saying? So I think that what they did was, if they're gonna put her on TV, on the news like that, and put her out for the world to see and say that she did a great job, I think it's only right what they did.
Well, you know what, I wouldn't turn the money down either, but you know, at the same time, I wouldn't ask for nothing, you know what I mean? Because if you're doing something from, you know, the kindness of your heart, that's all you're doing it for. You're not looking for any type of return or whatnot. What you might be hoping for is that the person that the ring finds his home, which you did, you know what I'm saying, and just, you know, be grateful in that, you know what I mean, because, you know, a lot of people want their reward on earth, but you know, there's some people that want their reward in heaven.
And you know, that's wonderful, bro. I do feel like, you know, when people do good deeds, you know, I do feel like that does come back to you anyway. That whether somebody says, okay, well, thanks for finding my wallet, here's such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You somebody gonna look out for you later on down the road.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
Versus you looking for a payout. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so I'm not with that either. There's been times where I've done similar things. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't expecting anything like that, but I always end up getting back, you know what I'm saying, what I put out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's a wonderful story, to say the least.
It was good.
You know what I'm saying? So, bro, man, you got anything, any advice for the people, man? You know, was you always like that? Was you always like how you described how a person should be? Like,
no. I was back in the day. I would find a wallet. I'd return the wallet, but it wouldn't be no money in it.
It wouldn't.
You know what I mean? And I mean, it's nothing I'm proud of, and you know, you know, it's shameful. But I mean, if you really want to know the truth, you know, you know, I didn't get like this, you know, overnight. You know, it took a lot of bumping my head and you know, getting closer to God. You know what I mean? And just really having respect for myself first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? And you know, building character. You know, so you know, it wasn't overnight, Mo. It's just like I said, you know. I mean, I had some decency in me back then, you know, but at the same time, I took my own reward out if there was one in there. You know what I mean? Hey, this is how I found it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not gonna, you know, laugh about it or anything. Not me personally, because
I feel you.
that ain't who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
But
we got to speak to those people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know
because not everybody is like on that level yet. You know what I'm saying? To say, well, okay. Because at one point in time, I wasn't on that level either. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have done the same thing, but slipped a couple dollars, you know what I'm saying, out, which I've done before. And, you know what I'm saying, I'm not proud of it either. But what I'm saying is that, you know, once you get down the road, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk about, when you get down the road to where you can be like that, to where you can get that way. You know what I mean? Now that's where you say, you know, God is in play there.
Right.
See, that's the God in her. That's the God in her. It being shown.
Right.
It's for the world to see. So
That's right.
I love that right there,
right.
man.
And shout out to her. I forgot her name, Maria, maybe.
Gonzalez, Miss Gonzalez.
Miss Gonzalez. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, Miss Gonzalez, personally, I just want to say, good job. If you ever come across this video or whatnot, good job. You know what I mean? We need more people like you. And God bless you, and your family. And God will bless you and your family because you are a woman after his own heart.
Hey, wonderful story, y'all. Yes. Y'all go ahead, leave your comments in the comment section below and let us know what you think about this this clip right here. Right. And if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like, the share button. Just go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we come out with new videos. And once again, we back at it, and it feels good to be back in the basement, doing it with my brother,
with the bro code again.
The bro code.
Yes, sir.
And so y'all go ahead, y'all enjoy your day, your night, whatever it is when you're watching this video. Holla at y'all. Peace.